Hello and welcome to BRR Media. Today I have the pleasure of being joined by Mo Khan, the Chief Executive Officer at Open Orphan. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me on. Thanks.
So Mo, hVIVO have signed their first ever phase 2 field study contract. Can you tell us some more?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first milestone for the company. As most people know, we conduct human challenge trials, but this is something completely different. We are actually acting as a standalone site for a big pharma customer. It's a repeat customer who have worked with us on a challenge trial. But in this case, all we are doing is providing site services. So we're helping recruit healthy volunteers into a phase two RSV trial for this sponsor. And the fact that this requires no quarantine makes it much easier for us to be able to conduct this. And we continue to use the FluCamp branded recruitment tool that we currently have to recruit these patients. And as these patients come in, they will effectively go to our screening facility here at Plumbers Row and be then dosed with the vaccine under investigation and then do the follow-on trial. So the great news for us is that since our move to Plumbers Row in March of this year, we always intended to move into phase 2 clinical trials at the site. And it's really a great testament to the team here that they've been able to turn this around within a couple of months of opening the facility and having our first phase 2 site study.
So how are these type of studies beneficiary to Open Orphan?
So they're hugely beneficial because they have great synergies with the human challenge work we do. So typically in a human challenge trial, we have to make sure that the volunteers we screen don't have antibodies against the challenge agent we are using in a typical study. And in this case, around 70-80% of those volunteers are what we call screen failures. But for a phase 2 trial, no such screening is required. So in fact, when we screen these volunteers and they're not able to go into a challenge study, they can go into our phase 2 trial. We already have these screening facilities built for the challenge studies, and we have the nursing and the medical staff already here doing the screening for the challenge studies. So in fact, next to no additional resources or facilities and using the same FluCamp software tool that we use to recruit our volunteers, we can go ahead and recruit and treat these patients and volunteers in the phase 2 arena.
There's been an announcement yesterday around a new substantial challenge virus manufacturing contract, Mo. Can you tell us a bit more?
Of course. So the challenge manufacturing contract we have signed is again with a big pharma, a repeat client, not the same client as the one we mentioned earlier with regards to the field-based study. But the great thing about conducting contract manufacturing and challenge agents for our clients is that normally they go on to characterization and then a full challenge trial. So although this is a relatively small contract from a financial point of view, but the fact that this will lead on to a characterization study and then a challenge study, hopefully in the new year, it will mean that we will get a good amount of revenue this year as well as next year. The challenge study, the manufacturing part, in fact, will all be completed by the end of Q3.
That's great to hear. And then finally, there's been some confusion in the past few days around the appointment of Liberum as Open Orphan's Nomad and the potential delisting. Can you clarify the situation for us?
100%. I'm glad you raised this. You're absolutely right. Those rumors are inaccurate. We are not being delisted or taken private. The only thing that has happened is that our previous Nomad, Arden Partners, have been acquired by the INS Group. As a result of this acquisition, they have lost their license to be a Nomad for the AIM-listed businesses. So in fact, all of their clients, AIM-listed clients that they were acting for as a Nomad, have had to go out and find an alternative Nomad. And as a result of that, they've had to issue these carefully worded press releases, which are required under the regulations of AIM-listed companies. And we did the same thing, and we have identified and brought on a new Nomad in Liberum They are currently conducting due diligence, which is a normal practice when it comes to assigning a new Nomad. But just for your audience, just to reassure them that we're not being delisted or being taken private. We continue to look for. Well, we have found a new Nomad, and hopefully we will be able to announce that once the due diligence is complete in 2 to 3 weeks, and hopefully we want to continue to grow and get bigger and expand under the AIM regulations.
Thank you, Mo, for providing some clarity and a good update.
Thank you for having me on. It's been great.